Hey you guys, it's Vijaya and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make one of my personal favorite South Indian breakfast items of all time, Rava Dosa. Rava Dosa is a savory Indian crepe that's flavored with things like onions and ginger and coriander, and when it cooks up, it gets ultra lacy, ultra crispy, and it's so delicious. And when you compare it to traditional dosa, Rava Dosa only takes 15 minutes to make and requires no fermentation whatsoever, which makes it the perfect quick breakfast any morning. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're loving the videos. And of course, if you're looking for the full recipe, all you gotta do is click that info box under the video and everything you need is there. Let's make some Rava Dosa. So the first thing that we're going to do is soak some rice. You can use any long grain rice that you want. I'm using jasmine rice today, but you can just as well use basmati. And what we're going to do is top the rice off with a little bit of warm water, massage the grains until the water turns cloudy, and repeat the process until the water runs clear. Then we're going to let it hang on the counter for about 10 minutes to soak. My rice has soaked for 10 minutes and I went ahead and drained it. The soaking process just helps the rice soften up so that it makes it easier for blending. Now I'm going to tip my rice into a high-speed blender. We're going to top it off with a little bit of water and process it until it's nice and smooth. Now we're ready to assemble our dosa batter. So I'm going to pour in my blended rice mixture and we're going to top it off with some semolina, some white flour, and some salt to season. Next up, I'm going to add some fresh ingredients that are going to bring great texture and flavor to the batter. I'm going in with some finely diced red onion, some chopped coriander, as well as some grated ginger. Now you can add some diced chili at this point as well if you like things spicy. I'm going to go in with a little bit of creamy whole yogurt, and that's going to bring some great tang to the dosa. And we're going to season things up with a little bit of cumin seed as well as some crushed black peppercorn. In with some water, and we're gonna whisk this up until a nice thin batter forms. Now you wanna make sure that this batter resembles the texture of water. The thinner, the better, because that makes for a very lacy Rava Dosa. And now we're ready to make our crepes. Today I'm using a French crepe maker, and I particularly love this one because it's nice and flat and doesn't have a lip, but you can just as easily use a large non-stick frying pan on medium heat. I have a little bit of ghee and oil that I've mixed together, and that's what we're gonna use to grease the surface as well as drizzle around the dosa so that it gets nice and crisp. And one last important thing, you wanna make sure that each time you make a dosa, you give the batter a nice stir to lift up all that semolina from the bottom and to make sure that the ingredients are well distributed. Now let's get started. I'm gonna grease my surface with just a touch of ghee. This is on medium-high heat, oops. And we're gonna just use a little paper towel to spread it out. And now here is the fun bit. As I mentioned, give it a nice stir. It's nice and liquidy in texture. And we're gonna use a ladle to gently drop the batter from a height. And that's what's gonna create those beautiful little bubbles and spaces from the Rava Dosa that make it so lacy. Lacy, here goes. Ooh. And if it splashes a bit, that's okay. But I can already tell that we're gonna get some amazing crunch on this dosa. And you wanna make sure that you don't overlap with the batter. You just wanna grab any space that hasn't been covered, like so. Beautiful. Now I'm just gonna increase my heat, and we're gonna let this dosa set for about 1.5 minutes until it slightly dries out and the top gets cracked. So it's been about 1.5 minutes. My dosa has set up nicely, and you can start to see little cracks on the surface. Now I'm gonna take my ghee and oil mixture, and we're gonna just drizzle it around the perimeter of the dosa as well as in the center where all those little holes are. And we're gonna let this crisp up for about 30 seconds until the underside of the dosa is nice and crisp and golden. Now using a spatula, you're gonna get underneath the dosa. It's just gonna release really easily because it's crisped up perfectly. And we're just gonna gently pry it from the pan and flip it over, and just like that, perfect, crispy, and lacy every single time. This dosa looks absolutely perfect. I can't wait to dig in. Do you hear how crunchy it is? Look at that, it's like looking through lace. It's absolutely beautiful. And you're just gonna fold it and give it a bite. The thing I love most about this dosa is how light it is. It literally shatters into your mouth. So, so delicious, especially with the flavorings of that black peppercorn, which has a little bit of smoky heat, the ginger, the coriander, those sweet onions paired together. There is a reason why this is my favorite South Indian breakfast, you guys, and I hope you get to try it at home too. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give me a big ol' thumbs up. You know how that makes me feel. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe for more videos. And as always, if you have a question, comment, concern, or request, leave it in the comments box down below. Until my next video, I will see you all later. Bye!